All right, hey guys, this is Vishal from Uncharted FX, and I just wanted to talk about some good sources and sites for your trading and for your investing in general, because I always get asked this question. So the first site, of course, is TradingView.com. I think many of you are probably familiar with this site, but it allows you to create a nice watch list, and you can also search by stocks, by futures, by forex, CFDs, cryptos, indexes, and economic data as well. So I think it's quite a good site that people generally use for their charting. And I know there are other sites such as stock charts, bigcharts.com as well. Of course, Yahoo Finance is also a very good one, but I'm assuming you know most of those sites anyways. In terms of market news, Market Watch is generally the site that people use because, as you can just see, it refreshes constantly and updates its articles constantly. So, I think this is the big news for a Sunday, and I'll speak about weekends and geopolitical events in some other video. So, Market Watch is generally what a lot of people have open during trading session, as I said, because articles are always refreshing and being updated constantly. Another one that I enjoy is Zero Hedge. I know this one gets a bit of a stick sometimes because of the comments here and there, but this is a great site for I think geopolitical and let's say alternative news. And the reason why I like it, of course, is because of the data as well. For example, the articles have good charts, good data points, and a lot of good geopolitical points as well. So it's one to browse here and there. So one of the favorite sites by a lot of people, I'm sort of surprised it's not really well known, but it's actually Finviz. And as it says here, it's financial visualization. So essentially, at the beginning of the trading session, this will be intraday charts. So you'll see the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P trading intraday. Of course, they're closed right now because it's a Sunday, but these charts will be updating every day, every hour. So it's good to keep an eye on this. Of course, you have your main page here with your top gainers, new highs. Of course, you can click on these and it'll lead you to more charts of this category, and we'll look at this in 1 second. There is a smaller news section here, but I believe there is a news tab here as well, and an insider tab as well, so we can even look at insider trading as well. But I think the most important thing about Finviz is actually this visualization of the US market. So it shows the markets by their sectors. It breaks it down. Technology, it'll break it down to applications, semiconductors, etc. But you can sort of see, what stocks are in the red, what stocks are in the green, and in the overall picture, the more green you see, the more likely the index, the S&P, is going to be higher. Generally, when you see green, just expect 4 out of 5 stocks are going up. That's just common basic math in terms of indices. Of course, here you can click on the world, and you can see the Canadian market, the UK, the Chinese, Japan, India, and yes, it's not as comprehensive, but it's a cool tool just to use. So my favorite is actually, well, let's do the Forex market first. So this is a 1-day performance on Forex, but if you click here on performance, and you can choose your parameters here, so weekly, month to date, quarterly, whatever. So let's just see weekly, and it'll tell you that in 1 week performance, the yen is actually the strongest performer relative to the US dollar, of course, while the Australian dollar is the weakest relative, again, to the US dollar. So, it's a neat tool for contrarians. Maybe it's time to go along the Aussie for a relief bounce and maybe short the yen. But that's just one way you can use this tool. Another tab here, futures, is also very similar. It shows you a larger component of instruments here. If you click here on performance, we can do the exact same thing. So let's do monthly. And you'll see here on the 1 month relative performance, the VIX is doing the best while orange juice is doing the worst. So again, as a contrarian, maybe you could decide to go long orange juice futures, expecting a relief bounce. This is just how you would use this tool. I wouldn't recommend shorting the VIX, and we'll talk about the VIX one day, but that's a whole different topic. You have your crypto tab here as well. Not too many other altcoins, but it has the basic, basic coins. And then there's a screener here, and this screener is actually it is only geared towards American stocks. So you can put your parameters here. Let's keep it simple, and let's just do fundamentals. We'll say, let's do descriptive, sorry. We'll just say price, not price, sorry. What am I looking for? Yeah, it's probably in technical. Oh, there we go. Let's do technical. Let's do new highs. Sorry. There we go. So let's do new highs. And this will show us 15 pages of US stocks. And when it says Hong Kong, it's actually stocks that are listed in the American market, but with their HQ in Hong Kong or Brazil. But let's click on this button here, TA, which I like. Of course, you can just click on charts, but let's click on TA here. And which is a technical analysis, by the way. And it will give you charts here on the left side with the moving averages, and it also gives you this panel here with some other data if you're inclined to use it. But of course, you can also break things down with the screener on by industry. So for example, we can just click here on general buildings, and we can do the same thing. Let's do the TA, and we'll see the same thing. We'll see a list of charts, all in the general building materials industry. So of course this can be helpful, and it'll be helpful paired with the last site I'll show you, when you can see sector strength, so you can see what stock in that sector is lagging. So a question I get a lot is from Canadian traders. There's not many Canadian sources for the Canadian stock market, and it's because I believe that one company, TMX, controls all the Canadian data, and I believe they've been reluctant to share it or part way with it. But CEO.ca is generally a good source for Canadian stocks. I mean, yes, it is a bit more of a message board. There is a premium service, I believe. I believe it's free anyways to log in, but I think there is a premium service as well. Yeah, right here, CEO Pro. But the cool thing I like to do is you can just click on here on the company tabs. You can see what's trending, what are the top followers, most followed, leaderboards, etc. And of course, being that this is Canada, most of the market is energy and mining. So you're going to see a lot of mining companies here. Of course, you can click on a company, and there are even message boards. You can see what's up. Of course, this is a message board, so read at your own risk. But this is a good site, I believe, for Canadian investors, just to get acquainted with Canadian stocks and then do their own due diligence on these companies afterwards. And then finally, Webull, which is actually an app, but I have it here open on my computer. And this, I believe, is one of the best, actually. And it's a great stock screener as well, as I will show you. So here you have a watch list tab and a stocks tab, but let's start here with markets. So this is the American markets, and it will show you, again, the index intraday. And of course, when the market's live, this is all Friday's close, but you'll see what some of the most active and the hot industries, which is really cool because you can actually click here on all and see all the industries, see 3 out of 3 textiles and leather stocks are green, 1 is red. And I think this is a really handy tool to take a look at stocks this way. Of course, you can get a list of stocks here. If you double click it, you'll get the chart. But going back here to markets, let's do the hot industry, sorry. And again, you can look at all industries, you can look at what's hot. I believe the China concept requires data. Oh no, okay, so the Chinese stocks are here as well. The hot stocks, okay, cool. So it's all here. I don't really use this too much for American stocks because I trade mostly Canadian stocks, and I'll show you a tool for that. So if you click here on the screener, and then we click here on screener here, you can see here for region wise, we can choose 5 countries here. So the US, Hong Kong, China, India, or Canada. So if you click, I believe, yeah, okay, so Hong Kong requires service, but if you click here on China, you'll get the Chinese market and their stocks. Click on India, you'll get Indian stocks. And if you click on Canada, you'll get Canadian stocks. So as a Canadian trader, I think this is the best resource and screener for researching and looking at charts for Canadian companies. You have your, okay, so yeah, the parameters are a bit limited, but you know, you have your parameters here. If there's a certain price you want to trade, let's say 5 to 10. If there's a certain percentage change you want, volume is always important. So if you want a certain type of volume, it'll filter out all these charts. And then the cool thing about this too is if you're more of a technical guy, you can just double click on the company there, and then you'll see the chart of that company, and your watch list is actually all here. So you can just use your keypad or whatever just to go down and look at multiple charts. So I think for a Canadian trader looking at Canadian markets, this is absolutely a great tool, and one that I use daily now to look for trading ideas. Okay, so I hope that's helped, and this is just the beginning. I'm going to be posting a lot more videos, more on markets, more on geopolitics, and trading in general. So I hope to talk to you guys soon.